If you're a perfectionist like me, you're gonna get eyeliner inside of your nostrils. Hi guys, my name's Stella. I'm here today with Hero Cosmetics to do this fun, funky Fawn Halloween look for you. Thought this would be a really fun tutorial to show you guys how to get this honestly very easy Halloween look. You're only using a few different colors and you probably already have all of the materials you need in your makeup collection at home. So let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to be applying a Mighty Patch. I'm using the Invisible Plus because they are completely incognito, if you will. So I'm going to peel one off and stick one on this little zip that I have. So first things first, I'm using the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. It's a super easy little stick. I'm just going to put it right under my eyes, on my cheeks, kind of towards my nose because that's where my pores are the biggest. And I just want to conceal that a little bit. Down the bridge of my nose too. So now I'm taking the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I'm in the shade G9. It's a super easy, creamy concealer, and I just use my fingers to blend it out. I'm just putting it under my eyes. And I'm also taking a little bit and putting it right over the patch on my forehead, just to really blend it into my skin tone. I'm now taking the Kat Von D and Divine palette. I'm only using the bright white in this palette. I'm gonna just cancel out some of the color on my eyelids to make sure that colors go on really, really bright. I'm just sweeping this with a flat brush all over my eyelid, and I'm also gonna be bringing it really close to my brow bone as well, just all over the eye. All right, next I'm going to be taking a bronzer that I'm going to be using kind of all over my face. It is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Bronzer in Park Avenue Princess. Most of this look is going to look very natural until we get into the real Halloween aspects of it. So you can use a lot of the things that you probably already have at home. I'm just going to be taking this with a super fluffy brush and blending it all over my crease on my eye. I'm now taking a darker brown because I just want to make my eyes look a little bit more dimensional. So I'm taking the same fluffy brush with a darker brown color and putting it right on the outside to deepen up the crease a little bit. Now I'm taking a liquid eyeliner. It is a perfect black. It's got a brush tip, and I'm going to be making a really, really, really big wing. Most people, when they put on eyeliner in normal day-to-day life, like to do it very small. I'm gonna make it huge and very, very dramatic. Now I'm taking a dark, dark brown. It's from the NYX Pro Highlight and Contour Palette. It's the darkest shade in the palette. I'm just putting it right in the hollows of my cheekbones to add a little more dimension and really chisel out my cheekbones. Now, a lot of people are very scared of blush. I am not. I'm very naturally rosy. This is just my regular kind of day-to-day, but I am going to use a little bit of a crazy blush. I'm going to be mixing the yellow and orange from the Likely Makeup Clown Blush palette, and I'm just going to put it right on the apples of my cheekbones. The apples of my cheekbones. That's not a face shape. I'm also taking a little bit of this on my chin just to kind of tie the whole face together. This is something that I also do in normal life with a much more natural blush, I guess, but it just ties the whole face together. And normally I would put a little bit under my nose too, but we're gonna be doing something else to our nose, so I'm not gonna do that. So now I'm gonna finish off my eyes. I'm gonna be working on the under part of it. First things first, I'm going to be taking the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. It is the best eye pencil ever. It's great for detail work. It's great for opening up your eyes. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to be putting it in my waterline and underneath my lash line to really make my eyes look super, super big. Now that I look like a full-on drag queen, I'm going to finish off the eyes by putting a little more of that same bronzer right underneath that white to make them look like that's where my eye bags are and not where they normally are. This will also just soften that white a little bit so that the edge of it is not too harsh. And it will look a little bit more like a doll and not like you just put white paint there. So I'm going to be finishing off the eye area. First things first, I'm using the Glossier Boy Brow. It is my #1 brow product. I am very well endowed with brows, but I'm just using this to add a little extra texture and to stick them up so that it looks much more fluffy. This is also just going to make sure that my brows stay where I want them. My brow hairs tend to droop throughout the day. They'll fall all over the place, and this will make sure that that does not happen. Now I'm going to use some mascara. I'm using the Urban Decay Perversion mascara, and I'm only putting it on the top lashes. I really coated my bottom ones in the NYX Jumbo pencil just to blend it into the white, so I'm only going to be using it on my top. And this eyeliner is so big that I'm really just hiding them. You're not really going to see them. So now I've done all of the things taken to an extreme that you would normally do with any kind of makeup look. So I'm going to go in and add a few more details to make this look really turn into the fawn that I was always meant to be. So I'm going to be taking the same NYX Epic Ink Liner in black, and I'm putting this underneath my nose to make it look like a fawn's nose. And again, I'm looking directly into my mirror to make sure I get a real straight line all the way across. If you're a perfectionist like me, you're gonna get eyeliner inside of your nostrils because you don't want any skin color to show, so I'm really going in there. I've mapped out where most of my nose is going to be, and now I'm just going to go around the edges and make sure it's really precise and really where I want it to be to really create that illusion. Sometimes if it's too far down, no one will see it. If it's too far up, it just looks like you painted on a clown nose. So I'm just trying to find that happy medium of where it looks like my nose is super downturned without looking unrealistic to the point where it will break the illusion. So we've got our nose on. I'm going to connect it to the lip in a bit, but first I want to add a couple more details around the edges of my face. And I'm going to be using the same Jumbo Eye Pencil from NYX, and I'm just going to create some white dots around my cheekbones where you would normally put a highlighter, onto my forehead, and I'm going to bring a little bit coming out from my chin. I'm trying to make these a little more haphazard, a little more random, and I'm going to kind of differentiate the sizing a little bit too to make them a bit more natural. So for some I'm doing bigger, for some I'm doing smaller, and I'm just going to try and create a very natural looking animal pattern. Next, I'm going to be taking a different white eyeliner. It's a liquid liner from NYX also, just their white liquid liner. It's got a really fine brush tip, so I'm going to be using this in between these bigger dots to create smaller freckle-like dots. With this one, I am bringing it a little more in towards the center of my face, not all the way to my nose, but just adding a few more right on the apples of my cheeks. Just adds a little bit of extra dimension. So I like how that looks. I don't want to make it too over the top. I'm afraid if I add any more, it will just become way too much and draw focus from any one part of the face. This is also a totally optional step. You could just leave it with the bigger white dots and it would look just as cute. I just like the little added detail of the smaller freckles. Now we are going to work on the lips. So the key to this look is doing a two-toned lip. So I'm going to be using two different products on the top and the bottom lip. On the top lip, I'm going to be using the Colored Raine liquid lipstick in 2 AM. It's just a matte black, super, super pigmented black, so it'll go on very, very easily. And then on the bottom lip, I'm going to be using the Glossier Gen G in Cake. It's a sheer matte formula, which means it's going to add a little extra color, but it's not going to add too much to the point where the upper lip looks countered out. I have a pretty big Cupid's bow, which I'm going to get rid of here. I'm just going to overdraw my lip in a straight U shape, just to make sure that my lip is completely rounded out. Before we finish off the lip on the bottom, I'm going to connect it to the nose in a very animal type way. I'm going to be taking the same Epic Ink Liner from NYX. I'm just going to draw a straight line from the center of my lip, connecting to the bottom of where we drew in our fawn nose. I added a little too much on my right side. I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and wrap it around my finger. I have super long nails, so it makes it a little easier, and I'm just going to clean up right on that edge. So I just took off any extra black lipstick that might have fallen onto my lower lip while it was still drying. It's completely dry now, so it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to transfer onto my bottom lip. And I'm just going to add a little of that Generation G from Glossier in the shade Cake onto my lower lip. After I put the lipstick down on my lower lip, I'm just taking a finger and blurring out the line to make it a little bit more natural. Great. I think we're done. So here's the completed fawn look. I added some antlers, which are just normal Halloween store antlers that I actually hot glued onto a headband just to make them a little more comfortable, a little bit more easy to wear. And I'm wearing this little fleecy yellow sweater to tie in the whole fall autumnal forest theme, and I am ready to go. So thank you guys so much for listening to me talk about makeup, and I hope you use this look this Halloween season. I hope to see some fawns out there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!